President Biden is channeling Austin Powers in a message to Trump about the idea of debating ahead of Election Day.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Oh, behave. Oh, behave.
Trump posted this week that he is up for a debate, quote, anytime, anywhere, any place. And Biden is laying out his conditions. Listen.
Will you commit to a debate with former President Trump?
It depends on his behavior.
Okay. So presidential debates have been taking place since, I think, 1960, the big debate between Nixon and Kennedy. They are not required, but they have certainly become customary. I think it gives people an opportunity to see the top two candidates talk about the issues of the day. Guy, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think they started on television, that cycle,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
And I am increasingly skeptical that we're going to see any debates this year. Maybe
Really?
one, maybe one. I don't think we'll see all three, which is the traditional number. And it could be zero. And, you know, that wasn't really a condition laid out from Biden. It's like, well, it depends on his behavior. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What about Biden's behavior? You debate your opponent. That's what should happen. But I think if they decide it's not in their interest to debate, what they'll say is, he's an insurrectionist. We're not going to dignify him by joining him on stage. And plus, he refused to debate in his primary. And they'll sort of muddy the waters with that. I think that's the line that they will use if it comes to it.
Yeah, Nicole, it's so funny to see Biden say, you know, it depends on his behavior. It's like he's scolding a child.
I mean, his behavior, isn't Biden the one who just got done yelling at us for hours in his State of the Union? I mean, he was yelling the whole time, and we've seen him curse. And I mean, I think it's a little bit silly. And you actually, exactly to Guy's point, a lot in the media are saying, why should Biden lower himself to Trump's level when Trump is indicted and all these other things? He doesn't have to prove himself to anyone. Well, actually, that's not true. And that's not what our democracy is all about. You know, we have a once in our lifetime where we can actually see two people, an incumbent president and a past president, who don't necessarily have to debate on what I'm going to do, which oftentimes turns into a lot of fluff. But hey, let's debate on our track records and our proven history. And I think that would be a great thing for Americans to see, to actually really see the facts when it comes to track records, when it comes to the border, when it comes to the economy and many other things. And I mean, just like what we just talked about, I mean, it is as simple as this. You have President Trump going to the home of a murdered U.S. citizen who's now, accused illegal alien. And you have President Biden who's focusing on, I'm sorry that I may have offended the person who's accused of the murder. I mean, they are stark opposites, and Americans deserve to see a debate.
Well, the ladies of The View have a different view on this. They think that the president shouldn't lower himself to debate the former president. Let's see what they have to say.
Why does Joe Biden have to lower himself to even be on the same stage with this criminal, this 91 times indicted sexual harasser, accused sexual assault? Why?
He snaps his finger, and now Joe Biden has to prove to everybody that he's up for the task.
Why legitimize a candidate like Donald Trump?
So, Tom, yeah.
He's a legitimate candidate who's going to probably win the Republican primary. I don't know.
Yeah, he certainly will likely be the Republican nominee. And, you know, a lot of people watch these debates. I was taking note that in 2016, a record 84 million people tuned into the debate between former President Trump and Hillary Clinton. People watch, and also the topics and the conversation do sway independents.
Yeah, I mean, I think, why don't I go ahead and make a wager with Guy? He thinks there's going to be no debates. I say there will be debates, okay, Guy, and I'll bet you a venti coffee or whatever.
Debates, plural?
Yeah.
Plural debates. There will be multiple
I think there'll be plural debates, but I hope that they do away with that stupid town hall format. I've always hated that, where the candidates take questions from regular people. It's all totally scripted. Should I be saying this? Is Fox hosting a town hall debate? But I don't like them. I like the debate where they stand at the podium and they go at each other. And I think that is, they at least have to do one of those. So I'm going to say debates, Guy. There's going to be two debates.
It's possible. I would just say this. I'm not really sure this decision depends on Trump's behavior. It depends on Biden's team's belief that he can make it through somewhat successfully multiple 90-minute debates, how they're feeling about it, and what the polling shows. Because if Biden is still behind by, let's say, October, and it's looking like he is struggling to win this election, he's going to want debates because he'll need a game changer. If he's ahead, then I think they might say, oh, we don't need this.
And they're easier. They're easier than the State of the Union because you only have to speak half the time. So it's, he can hold up his.
But it's not.
I'm between you guys. I just don't think Biden's going to be the nominee. There may be a debate.
Really?
But I don't think Biden will be there.
All right, we will see. In any case, we agree. We want to see a debate.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.